Hello everyone, so I'm Nargiza, and in today's presentation we are going to talk about the vocabulary, vocabulary in simple present tense. Students feel difficulties. They often ask us to help how to learn vocabulary or how to improve or enrich their vocabulary. So I would just recommend my students to start with the simple and gradually move to more complex ways in learning vocabulary. So learning vocabulary requires us to work with the text, to work with the words, actually we have words in the text. And in today's PowerPoint presentation, I will discuss with you the vocabulary from the PowerPoint presentation on reading, which was in our previous presentation. So, as we quite remember that the present simple text or suffixes SES for the first person singular, and for example, he drinks his coffee with sugar. Okay, very primitive example here. So, he is the third person. Someone from the outside or someone or anyone in singular can be first person for you, like she, he, or it for objects, and even your mother, your sister, your someone or anyone can be used with third person singular. My sister lives in Tashkent, for example. My sister, one person, she lives in Tashkent. So either you can substitute it with people's names, or someone who is one, anyone who is in singular, one person. So takes S or ES endings. Okay. Well, now let us bring up the story, the Airport book by Lisa Brown from our last presentation, because I decided to use for today's lesson. So the familiar text which you have already learned, which you have already read, and so it will be somehow easy for you to concentrate on one text and to do different tasks. Well, so the text is like, you stand in the lines to check your bags. There are lines for the restrooms. There are lines to go through the security. A machine X-ray all the bags that you take on the plane. Sometimes another machine X-ray your body. You will also take that with you on the plane. You walk past benches and shops and restaurants and exhibitions. It's like a little indoor town. Sometimes there are small beeping cars driving through the town. Sometimes sidewalks and staircases move by themselves. Well, the next, you have to hold your little sister's hand tight, or she could get lost. When you reach your gate, you wait and wait and wait and wait. Outside, people are getting the plane ready. They're checking that everything is working and safe and clean and ready to fly. Things are loaded into the plane. Gas is put into the fuel tanks. Food is put into the gallery. Luggage put into the cargo hold. The crew put themselves on the board and take their places. Now the passengers can board. You wait until your group is called, then walk down the jetway. It looks like the accordion. You squeeze into your seat. Some bags go up top. Some bags go underneath. You have to make sure that you have all your books and papers and music and games and toys before the plane takes off. You listen quietly. The savory announcements. You stow your tray table. You buckle your seatbelt tight across your lap. A flight attendant walks up and down the aisle pushing a cart. Sometimes you get something to drink. Sometimes you get something to eat. Sometimes there is a movie to watch. Sometimes there are people to talk to. Sometimes the plane is bouncy, but most of the time it is smooth. Outside there are clouds and clouds and clouds. When the plane lands, you collect all your things. You say goodbye to the crew and go to the baggage carousel to find the bags you checked. The bags travel around in a circle. When you see your bag, you put it off fast. You have to make sure that your bag is really your bag. Outside, there are lots of people saying lots of hellos. Sometimes they hug, sometimes they cry, then everyone leaves. When you leave the airport, you can take a car, a van, a bus, or even a train. We are taking a grandpa's car, and then you do everything all over again in other direction when it is time to go back home. Well, after reading this story, my dear students, I would like you to concentrate on words. Actually, words can be described in a different ways. Like words can be noun, words can be verbs, words can be pronouns, words can be adjectives, and etc. And here I would kindly ask you to identify the nouns, pronouns, verbs, prepositions, adjectives, and adverbs in the text. It's like, so let us take one trying or attempt here. How are you gonna do this? So, well, first just read the text. While reading, so it will be easy for you just to identify just nouns only. So where you see the nouns, put the "an", like in abbreviated form. So it like shows you that you found the how to say noun. If you see the how to say verb, just you put the verb. So like nouns are things, objects, peoples, names, and etc. And the verbs are just described with the actions. So it's like here we say people, noun. Who are people? Noun. So say what they are doing. They're saying hellos. So say it's a verb, it's the action. So we understand that all other actions, so all we do, what we do actually, so it's the action. All verbs show the actions. Or how you gonna do with the preposition? So there are many prepositions used in with the different verbs, either or in isolated way. Like we have the preposition like to. We have the preposition like so to, in, into, or let us say into, on, can be different preposition. Just read the text again. So underline, or try to identify so nouns, prepositions, so verbs, and etc. This somehow will help you to differentiate the noun from a verb, or to differentiate the preposition from an adverb, and etc. Well, so I put here how to say in a way like nouns: airport, car, van, bus, train, taxi cab, highway, ground, people, bags, wheel, shoulders, mystery, and ticket. So pronouns here, so you, we, they. Verbs here: go, take, drive, is, are. Even their auxiliary verb, they are considered to be verb. Saying, hug, cry, have, can, tell, packed, stand, and get. So we have a lot of verbs in the text, so all verbs show the action as we have mentioned. And preposition, so preposition of direction is used here, so like to, inside, in, and etc. Adjectives: flat and big, for example. So you say something, the object is, so you want to show the size of something, you want to show the size of noun, this is the adjective. Well, and an adverb, so today we have mentioned that simple present adverbs very often described with the adverbs of frequency, like so often, usually, and etc. And unfortunately, the first part of the story in slide 3 doesn't have any adverbs, but I would kindly ask you to find the adverbs of your own, and you can add in the text. So And you see that the text becomes different after you add adverbs. Well, that was all for today's lesson. I do hope that you find the lesson very useful and interesting, and I do hope that you will practice in enlarging your vocabulary, in differentiating nouns, verbs, adverbs, preposition, or pronouns. So, wishing you best of luck. See you in our coming classes. Bye.